Hi my dear friends, referring now to you as a quick revision on the part of offences and penalties. A quick revision is as follows. Section 122, subsection 2 clause A speaks, penalty in the case other than the fraud is equal to 10% of the tax or rupees 10,000, whichever is higher is the penalty in case other than the fraud. Sir, a penalty in the case of late filing of returns, sir, in that case the penalty is as follows, 25 rupees per day of delay or rupees 5,000, whichever is less, as per the CGST Act. Same as per the SGST Act also. And also we referred in the last class, my dear friends, by inviting the attention on the part of offences where there is evasion of tax fraudulently. In that offence, penalty is equal to 100% of the tax or at the rate of rupees 10,000, whichever is higher is the penalty. At the same time, penalty under section 122, subsection 2 clause A as well as clause B, other than the fraud or fraud as the case may be, that penalty imposed while issuing a section 73 or 74 as the case may be, a show cause notice under 73, you are aware of that, am I right? A show cause notice under 74, you are aware of that. Section 73 show cause notice is issued to a person to recover the taxes where he has evaded the tax other than the fraud cases. Other than the fraud cases. The time limit to issue the show cause notice is 3 months before the issuance of order. Order should be issued under 73 within 3 years from the relevant date. Relevant date is the date on which annual return is supposed to file for the financial year. In the case of section 74 fraud case, you have to issue the notice within 6 months prior to the date of order. Within 6 months prior to the date of order. Order should be issued under section 74 where the assessee not paid the tax acting fraudulently. In that case, 5 years time period is there to issue the order under 74. That 5 years time period reckoned from the end of the annual return due date for the relevant financial year. And also we refer in that case reduced penalty also. In the case where the assessee paid the tax, interest, even before show cause notice under section 73 or within 30 days from the date of issuance of show cause notice under section 73, penalty which is leviable under section 122, subsection 2 clause A, 10% of the tax or rupees 10,000, whichever is higher can be waived. And also we referred in the last class, if penalty leviable under section 122 subsection 2 clause B where law of the land says that the penalty is equal to 100% of the tax or rupees 10,000, whichever is higher. In that case, section 74 show cause notice issued to recover that penalty along with the interest as well as tax thereon. In that case, in such situation, if the registered person paid the tax, paid that particular interest thereon well before show cause notice under 74, just because of intimation is given to the assessee surrendered with the department and paid the taxes and interest thereon. In that case, penalty under section 122 subsection 2 clause B where 100% of the tax or 10,000 rupees, whichever is higher as per CGST Act, can be reduced to 15% of the tax or rupees 10,000, whichever is higher. A reduced penalty is applicable. 15% of reduced penalty, 15% of the tax portion as a reduced penalty is applicable only when for the assessee who paid the taxes interest well before issuance of show cause notice under section 74 where he not paid the tax acting fraudulently. If you paid the tax and interest as well as penalty within 30 days from the date of the issuance of the order under section 74, in that case reduced penalty is 25% of the tax amount or rupees 10,000, whichever is higher. If you paid the tax, the interest and penalty after issuance for the order within 30 days from the date of issuance of the order, in that case reduced penalty reduced to 50%. 50% of the tax due or rupees 10,000, whichever is higher. If you fail to do so, then you have to pay maximum penalty 100% of the tax or at the rate of rupees 10,000, whichever is higher. We have been referred this. Here I want to demonstrate a point. My dear friends, in the case other than the fraud, repeating the word, in the case other than the fraud, a show cause notice will be issued under which section? Section 73. If that is the case, well before issuance of section 73, if I paid tax and interest, after that department has no right to ask penalty. Is clear, my dear sir? Or otherwise, if I paid the tax interest after issuance of show cause notice under section 73 within 30 days from the date of issue of notice under section 73, then penalty does not arise. Is clear, my dear sir? And also we referred in the discussion by inviting the section 126 penalty, section 126 penalty, where we referred a penalty is applicable in general penalty, which is not applicable anywhere else, by default applicable section 126, where the penalty can be considered as a what we can call as minor breach if the tax evasion less than rupees 5,000 or the particular violation easily rectifiable from the records. Or otherwise, under section 126, penalty can be considered as mitigatable penalty if the registered person discloses the offence voluntarily in writing to department. If not, a penalty will be levied under section 126, which is not specifically covered elsewhere, for which by default section 126 penalty will apply. And also we refer in the last class by inviting the attention on the part of section 129, seizure, namely detention causes for subsequently seizure, detention seizure, section 129 of the CGST, where we referred by highlighting, if during transit goods has been detained and seized under 129 section, you have to pay penalty to release that goods. The penalty is equal to, in the case of taxable goods are considered, owner come forward to pay the taxes, interest, and the penalty is equal to 100% of the tax. If the owner not come forward, in that case be careful, the penalty under section 129 for taxable goods are considered 50% of the value of the goods. Then the assessor is asking, sir, I paid tax also, sir. In that case, when you apply 50% of the value of the goods as your penalty, in the case where taxable goods, where the owner not come forward, in that case 50% value of the goods as reduced by tax paid, if any. This amount less tax paid, if any. I use the word of what? Tax paid, if any. Not payable, if any. Paid. Less tax paid, if any, is important to note here. Less tax paid, if any. 50% value of the goods or less tax paid, if any. Understand, sir? Sir, tax payable also is there, sir. For example, 50% value of the goods. Value of the goods, for example, my dear, 10 lakhs. 50% value of the goods, how much comes? 5 lakhs. While paying the 5 lakhs penalty under section 109, I have to consider reduction. What? Tax already paid. Tax how much paid? Sir, 2 lakhs paid, sir. 2 lakhs paid, deduct it. Balance how much? Balance 10 lakhs minus, and 10 lakhs 50%, and 10 lakhs value of the goods 50% is equal to 5 lakhs. I already paid the tax of 2 lakhs, sir. Reduced from 5 lakhs. Balance 3 lakhs. While paying that penalty, if there is a tax payable still due, if tax payable, if any due is there, let us say tax payable due 4 lakhs, add it. Then 3 lakhs plus 4 lakhs, that is amount, total amount to pay to release the goods along with interest. Repeating, my value of the goods 10 lakhs. Is clear? 50% value of the goods is 5 lakhs is the penalty when the taxable goods where the owner not come forward to pay the penalty. So 5 lakhs is the penalty. Tax already paid, how much? 2 lakhs. Deduct from 5 lakhs. Balance how much? 3 lakhs. While paying the 3 lakhs penalty, you have to pay the tax also. What is tax payable? Tax payable due still there. How much? 4 lakhs. Then add it. 3 lakhs plus 4 lakhs, 7 lakhs pay off as a total amount to release your goods along the interest. And further we also understood by referring saying that if exempted goods where the owner comes forward to pay the taxes, namely the penalty in the given case where there is no tax, in that situation 2% of the value of the goods or rupees 25,000, whichever is less is the penalty under 109. If the owner not come forward for exempted goods, penalty under section 109 is equal to 5% of value of the goods or rupees 25,000, whichever is less is the penalty. Is clear, my dear sir? And also we referred in the last class by inviting the attention on the part of section 130, namely called as confiscation of the goods. If so, penalty in lieu of confiscation is equal to as follows. If the owner come forward, maximum penalty is equal to market value of the goods less tax chargeable thereon, not paid. Chargeable means payable thereon. Market value of the goods less GST payable thereon is the maximum fine. Minimum is how much? Not lesser than the penalty leviable under section 129 is the minimum. If the owner not come forward, in the given case, the department will identify who is the owner of the goods by using his discretion. Further, confiscated goods along with the conveyance, in that case, to release the conveyance, vehicle, vessel or aircraft as the case may be, to the owner of the conveyance, in that case, in lieu of confiscation of the conveyance, penalty on the part of owner of the conveyance is equal to 100% of the tax payable thereon has to pay within 3 months from the date of issuance of the order under section 130 to pay. Is clear, my dear sir? Further, if you not paid within 3 months from the date of the order issued to pay under section 130, under section 130 penalty, in that case, if you fail to pay within 3 months from the due date, in that case, your goods are liable for further to sell through auction to realize the payment, and the payment will be deposited by the department officer with the best interest of the revenue. Is clear, my dear sir? Further, section 132, we invited attention on the part of arrest, prosecution. Further, invite attention on the part of 138, compounding of offence. Under the 132, which offences will lead to cognizable offence as referred under section 132 subsection 5 means if the offence falls under class A, class B, class C or class D of section 132 subsection 1. We refer this point. Where the value of tax evasion is more than 500 lakhs. In that case, what are the offences? Class A, supply of goods, supply of services without issuance of invoice. Class B, issue of invoices without supply of goods or services. Class C, availing input tax credit fraudulently. Class D, collect the tax but not pay to department for a period more than 3 months from the due date. In that case, in all the class A, class B, class C, class D of section 132, subsection 1, where the tax evasion more than 500 lakhs, section 132 subsection 5 says that is a cognizable offence, non-bailable offence. If offence has been proved in the court of law, the punishment by way of imprisonment is maximum of 5 years with fine. Remaining all offences are called as non-cognizable offences, even the offence falls under section 132, subsection 1, class A, class B, class C, class D, where the value not exceed 5, tax evasion not exceed 500 lakhs is also be called what? Non-cognizable offence, which are bailable offences. And also we referred here important amended provision, Finance Act 2020, where the law of the land says that, hey Mr. expert in the GST, maybe tax practitioner, maybe chartered accountant, maybe a cost accountant, maybe a company secretary or advocate in practice, especially in the GST law. If you are the person causing the offence and retain the benefit of anything through your client and revenue loss causes, department not only levy the penalty under section 122, 2A, 10% of the tax or 10% whichever is higher other than the fraud. In the case of fraud, 100% of the tax or rupees 10,000 whichever is higher as per CGST Act, not only levied on the registered person but also third person who causes this particular fraud or this particular revenue loss. And not only the punishment by way of imprisonment to the registered person, and if you are the mastermind behind this, you are the kingpin behind this of event of a particular client causing the revenue loss, falls under section 132, subsection 1, class A, class B, class C, class D, where the amount is more than 500 lakhs, maximum imprisonment how much? 5 years going to be levied on the registered person, will also levy on the particular third person who causing this particular event to happen. That means even the tax portion evasion more than 100 lakhs, less than equal to 200 lakhs, 1 year imprisonment with the fine. More than 200 lakhs of tax evasion, less than equal to 500 lakhs of tax evasion, where the imprisonment max is 3 years. Minimum in all the cases 6 months. What is to be levied on the registered person will also be levied on the third person who causing this particular fraud through his client. If the client is facing these charges, the mastermind, namely the kingpin, also should face these charges. Is the amendment with effect from 1st January 2021. Notification already issued in the month of October. The amendment is in the Finance Act 2020, well applicable for your May 2021 examination onwards. Is clear, my dear sir? And also we referred in the last class by highlighting the provision of section 138. 138 says that the compounding of offence, where compounding of offence nothing but is compromise between the department and the registered person. If compromise taken place, to levy the penalty or fine in the case of compounding offence is the maximum is equal to 150% of the tax or rupees 30,000, whichever is higher as per CGST. Same quantum for SGST also will be there. Further, in the case of minimum penalty, minimum fine under the compounding of offence is nothing but 50% of the tax or rupees 10,000, whichever is higher. So the fine or penalty going to impose on the compounding of offence under section 138, officer should ensure that should not go his maximum as well as should not go below minimum. In between of maximum and minimum, penalty should be fixed. Is clear, my dear sir? And ensure that explanation is given when you go and talk about punishment by way of imprisonment. In that case, I referred 100 lakhs of tax evasion up to 200 lakhs. Offence has been proved, got convicted. 1 year imprisonment. I given the statement also here. Is clear. Further, if it is more than 200 lakhs but less equal to 500 lakhs tax evasion, in that case 3 years of imprisonment if the offence has been proved in the court of law. If more than 500 lakhs and the offence is especially in the nature of cognizable, not bailable, in the case where more than 500 lakhs of tax evasion cases, in that case maximum imprisonment is 5 years. In all cases minimum is 6 months. This 100 lakhs or 200 lakhs or the 500 lakhs what I referred here, tax portions, is a total tax. CGST plus HGST plus IGST, any other cess under the compensation cess, all put together you have to see. But not by adding the interest penalty. Interest penalty should not be added here. Further, we to refer section 132 subsection 1 clause 4. In that case, offences under section 132 subsection 1 clause F is falsifies financial information, financial records. Clause G, obstruct the officer or prevent the officer to do the things. With the best interest of the revenue, you obstruct the officer, prevent the officer to do the due diligence. In that case, or section 132 subsection 1 clause J, where it talks about destroy the information which is required. In such cases, imprisonment irrespective of the value of tax evasion is there 6 months if the offence has been put in the court of law. We refer all these points. Further, my dear sir, there is a arrest provision. Section 69 deals with this. Section 69 of the CGST Act deals with the power to arrest. In the case of cognizable offences, non-cognizable offences, arrest taken place. In the case of non-cognizable offences, which is bailable, bail should be granted. In case of cognizable offences, bail cannot be granted, then submit him or present him within 24 hours of arrest before the magistrate for further custody. Or a person under the non-cognizable offences which are bailable but not willing to opt for bail, in that case also present the arrested person in front of the magistrate within 24 hours for minute of arrest. Such arrest provision is in the hands of the commissioner and above rank. So, the officer below the rank of the commissioner not invoke arrest provision unless the officer authorized by the commissioner to do so. Is clear, my dear sir? Further, we referred here also in the case of offences and penalties, annual return filing delay happened. Penalty under section 47 subsection 2 is as follows. Maximum amount of penalty is 100 rupees per day of delay or 0.25% of the turnover in the state, whichever is less. Repeating, delay in filing of annual return. Penalty is equal to rupees 100 per day of delay or 0.25% of the turnover of the state or UT. Among the two, whichever is less is the maximum penalty. Is clear, my dear sir? With this, offences and penalties in nutshell as a quick revision is concluded.